At 79, Linda Ronstadt sits across from her interviewer, silver hair catching the studio lights, her eyes still holding that unmistakable spark that captivated millions for decades. The room hums with quiet anticipation as the host leans forward, teasing for stories that go beyond the music and the awards. Linda tilts her head back, letting out a laugh that feels both warm and familiar, the kind that could make a stadium feel intimate, like a living room performance. She doesn't blush, she doesn't hesitate. Instead, she begins to speak about connection, not in the shallow sense of fame or success, but the rare, profound relationships she's had with fellow artists, 7 men whose talent, passion, and humanity left an indelible mark on her life. The first name she mentions is Jackson Browne, whose music and soul seemed intertwined in every note he sang. Linda remembers the early studio nights in California, the air electric with creativity, where Jackson poured himself into his songs with a vulnerability that was impossible to resist. Working alongside him was like witnessing art being born, intense, delicate, and deeply moving. But it wasn't just his talent, it was the way he made her feel seen, understood, and inspired. He taught her that true artistry wasn't only about skill, but about honesty, heart, and daring to be raw in front of the world. Next comes Neil Young, whose presence was electric in a completely different way. Linda recalls his fearless approach to music, his audacious creativity that demanded authenticity from everyone around him. His energy was unpredictable, yet it pushed her to be braver, to embrace her own instincts, and to trust the music that flowed naturally from her. Working with Neil wasn't just collaboration, it was immersion in intensity. A reminder that art could ignite the spirit if one was willing to be fully present. Then there's Warren Zevon, whose wit, darkness, and complexity left a mark that lingered long after the studio lights dimmed. Linda speaks of his sharp humor, his deep intelligence, and the way he lived with urgency and passion. His music and his presence reminded her that beauty could emerge from chaos, and that vulnerability and brilliance often go hand in hand. Warren taught her that life and art were inseparable, and that both demanded courage to embrace fully. Don Henley follows, a figure of effortless confidence whose calm precision and intuitive understanding of collaboration shaped her approach to music and connection. Linda remembers late-night sessions, the subtle chemistry of shared creativity, and the joy of being in the presence of someone who understood timing, space, and the unspoken rhythms of working together. Then Randy Newman, J.D. Souther, and finally Chris Christopherson, each unique, each transformative. Randy's sharp intellect and subtle depth, J.D.'s grace and patience, and Chris's intensity and authenticity, all of them showed Linda that relationships in life and art are mirrors, reflecting strengths, weaknesses, and the capacity to connect on a profound level. By the end of the conversation, it's clear that Linda Ronstadt's story isn't just about fame, or music, or even the accolades. It's about the ways people influence one another, the lessons learned through trust and respect, and the magic that happens when creativity meets heart. She leans back, that mischievous, knowing smile playing at her lips, reminding us that legends aren't simply born, they're shaped by courage, connection, and the willingness to live fully and authentically. In recounting these relationships, Linda isn't boasting or revealing gossip. She's reflecting on a life enriched by collaboration, passion, and the human connections that give art its depth. At 79, she reminds us that age doesn't diminish insight or emotion. It sharpens it, clarifies it, and allows a lifetime of experiences to shine through. The music continues in memory, in influence, and in the quiet understanding that some bonds, like true artistry, are timeless.